That is a lot of ants. Angry, angry ants. I'm not sure I really want those potatoes that bad. Welcome to TNT Homesteading. Join us as we continue to expand our off-grid life here on our 10 acres in eastern Oklahoma. Hey y'all, welcome to TNT Homesteading. This is Terry. So I've got a to-do list a mile long today, and there are storms just north of us, slowly headed this direction. So we're going to see how much we can get done. Anyway, I think I'm going to start off with it's past time, I think, to get these potatoes out of the ground. They're going to get harvested today anyway. The rain, we've had all sorts of rain. We've had over 30 inches of rain this year, which is just unheard of. And they did a number on the onions. So I'm going to harvest what I got of those and see. I don't think they're very good, but I'm going to get out of the ground what's there before they rot. Probably harvest a few other things while I'm out here, but at least get that stuff done. So get the onions and potatoes out of the ground and under cover and get them curing. And that's what I really want to get done right now. So as I've mentioned before, I was going to try something in these blue barrels with these potatoes. And after my chainsaw accident, I didn't get anything further done on that. So I'd always heard that you're supposed to heal your potatoes and they'll just continue to grow. Keep burying them, they'll continue to grow. I've seen videos that say no, that doesn't work. Then I saw something about there's determinate and indeterminate potatoes, just like there are determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. So I was going to try that here with these barrels and continue to dig or bury them and add segments and see how that went. But with the chainsaw accident, that didn't happen. And so anyway, we're going to see what's here. So I've got 6 plants in these 3 barrels, and I've got 2 way over there behind that tomato plant. So I want to start by getting the potatoes out of the ground and seeing what, if anything, I got out of this harvest. So while I was walking over here to go ahead and start harvesting, I saw those 2 Cherokee Purple tomatoes. And so I want to go ahead and get them harvested. And that one. Oh, and there's another one over there. Those tomatoes, if you don't, they're sort of ugly looking, but they are some of the best tasting tomatoes you'll eat. With as dark as it is, you wouldn't think that it's 8:30 in the morning, would you? All right, so moving on to these potatoes. There's actually one poking its head out, which isn't good, or at least if I remember correctly. But these are past time to get out of the ground, so I want to go ahead and do that. Actually, there's 2, and that one's turning green, which, if I remember correctly, you're not supposed to eat those. So on potatoes, what I remember is there it is. Try prying these out of the ground and without stabbing a potato. Well, that's not a bad sized potato. These 2 are a little small, but they're not bad. This is the one that's turned green because it got sunlight on it. Another nice one. Another good one. All right, I'm going to put this camera down so I can dig a little bit better. Because surely I got more potatoes than that off of that one. And maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time for me. And it was a new potato that I've never tried before. That's what I got off of those 2 plants. Not a lot, but you know, more than I planted. I can hear rain starting, so I really need to get to those 3 blue barrels over there. So I better get on it. Well, you probably can't tell in the picture, but it's turning into a full-on rain shower. So I'm gonna get inside for a few minutes and see if this thing will pass. I at least got those potatoes moved somewhere dry. I'm getting more of a break than I anticipated. Well, that was quite the rainstorm. In just about an hour and a half or so, we ended up with 1.5 inches of rain. And while I was expecting some rain, I wasn't quite expecting that much. But while it was raining, I decided to go ahead and pick up our chicken feed that we had ordered from Oki Farm and Feed. And I drove over and got a bag of that. Found a place we could get some chicken feed. It's grains, not pelletized, and non-GMO and all that kind of stuff, because what you feed your animals comes into you eventually. So we're just trying to up the contents of their, not the contents, the quality of their food. So now everything's wet, really wet. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go ahead and finish harvesting those potatoes or not. I still have those 3 buckets to do. All right, so the rain has passed, at least for a little bit. There are more chances of rain later, so I did go ahead and refill the shower barrel and all the containers. So it's all topped off with water, and the rain barrels for the house can take another 50 gallons or so. So that's done. It's humid. It's like 96% humidity, but it's still in the 70s, but it sure feels warmer than that. Back to these potatoes. I don't know if I should go ahead and try to harvest these after 1 inch of rain or not, 1.5 inches of rain or not, but I think I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. If I have problems, I'll stop, and if it'll work, well, that's probably good, because they really need to get out of the ground, I think. I moved the straw that I had tossed on top of this, and potatoes are already there on top. I don't even have to go digging for them. Look at that. Ooh, sorry about that. Look at that. Alright, I don't know if this is going to show up on camera or not, but there are ants all over. I guess I should have picked up the potatoes that were over there. And whatever they are, they hurt. I got into them earlier. My hand was resting right there as I was digging those out. And I've got little bitty whelps all over me. I don't think you can see it. A little bit right there. But I got a lot, so. Anyway, they don't like me digging up these potatoes. But so far, this is what I've got. This barrel had this many. That barrel had this many. And so far, I've gotten 3 from this one, and I know there's more in there. Whew, that's a lot of ants. That is a lot of ants. Angry, angry ants. I'm not sure I really want those potatoes that bad. Look at all those eggs. And there they are. I'm not sure I want those that bad. Well, while I'm waiting for the ants to calm down a little bit, I do have some cherry tomatoes that are ready to pick. Black cherry, they are so good. There's a couple more in there, but my hands are full. I guess I'll have to put down either the camera or the tomatoes. I think it'll be the camera. Well, there's the tomatoes I harvested today. One of the small ones from earlier, or one of the big ones earlier, the smaller one of the group, had a big rotten spot on it, and so ended up tossing it to the chickens. This one, I think, does too, but I think we can cut it out and salvage most of that. So I wanted to sort of see how much potatoes we harvested. 3.5 pounds of potatoes out of the raised bed. So, yep, 3.5. Let me check the other ones. So here I have 5.736 pounds out of the barrels. All right, so here's my rundown for what happened this year. Over here was the raised bed. Over here was the blue barrels. I did notice I needed more drain holes in those blue barrels. Some of that soil was super soggy. Granted, it just rained 1.5 inches, but I don't think it was from today. I just think it's super soggy. Again, I got almost 5 3/4 pounds here, and 3.5 here. 2 plants, 6 plants. So I did the math real quick, and I got out of the raised bed 1 3/4 pounds per plant, and out of the blue barrels I got just about 1 pound per plant, 0.95 pounds actually. So that alone would mean the raised beds are better. Now granted, the soil wasn't the same, so there's that. But I'm relatively happy. I started off with 10 potatoes about this size. Well, let me just do that real quick. I planted approximately that, which that seems a lot more potatoes in that than I planted, but maybe. But I planted that many, and this is how many I got off of it back out. So, and in all honesty, I didn't do anything. I planted it and I added some straw on top of the blue barrels once, and then I hurt myself with the chainsaw and didn't touch them again until today when I harvested them all. So that's not bad. First year growing potatoes. I mean, my parents grew potatoes. I remember harvesting potatoes, but I don't remember anything else about them. We'll see what we think of these. I've never had these potatoes. I do want to save out some seed potatoes though and plant them next year, and hopefully not have to buy potatoes again. I mean, we will have to buy potatoes again because that's not enough to get us through a year, but it's a start, right? Anyway, y'all, need to go put these away. So I don't think I told you, but these are German butterball potatoes. We've never tried these before, at least I haven't, or at least not knowing it. And we'll see how they do. They're supposed to be an indeterminate potato, and they're heirloom. So I'll be able to just take these and plant them again next year. Anyway, y'all, for first year growing potatoes, that's not too bad. Thanks for watching. God bless. See you on the next video.